Tamela Mann has always been that voice, the kind that reaches you right where you are, especially when you're going through something heavy. Her songs have carried people through their lowest moments, like when they're grieving, sitting in hospital rooms, or praying through sleepless nights. Her music has never been just entertainment, it's been healing. Songs like Take Me to the King, God Provides, and Change Me didn't just top gospel charts. They comforted souls. They reminded people to hold on when they felt like giving up. So, when Tamela appeared on a quiet Sunday evening live video, tired, raw, and clearly weighed down, no one was prepared for what she was about to say. There was no makeup, no glamorous lighting. It's just her wearing a hoodie, puffy-eyed and visibly drained. For the first time, the woman who always seemed so strong looked like she had nothing left to give. She took a deep breath before she spoke. Her voice cracked as she said, "I'm tired." But this wasn't the kind of tired that a nap or a vacation could fix. It was deeper emotional exhaustion that had been building in her body and spirit for years. "I've been pretending too long," she admitted. And just like that, the dam broke. Tamela revealed she'd been quietly battling an autoimmune disease. She didn't name the specific condition, maybe because she's still learning how to deal with it herself. But the symptoms she described were clear chronic pain, inflamed joints, aching muscles, sleepless nights, and sometimes even struggling just to stand in the morning. "There are days I wake up and wonder if I'll even be able to walk," she said quietly, "or sing, or just be okay." That hit hard, because this wasn't just anyone. Which Tamela Mann, the woman who had given strength to millions, now needed strength herself. For once, she was the one asking for prayer, and what made it all more heartbreaking was realizing she hadn't just started suffering recently. She'd been living with this pain for years. Fans had noticed her looking tired at times, but they didn't know the real story. Behind her smile were knees that ached with every step, joints locking up, muscle pain that didn't stop. Even after undergoing double knee replacement surgery in 2019, what looked like recovery on the outside was still a quiet battle on the inside. Those autoimmune flare-ups didn't just bring physical pain, they brought fear. Tamela admitted there were nights she lay awake, wondering if she was still useful to God. "If I can't sing, if I lose my voice, what's left of me?" Even through the worst of it, she kept showing up, singing at funerals, leading worship, at church events, comforting others while crying in hotel bathrooms, and breaking down in private. That's the thing about strong people, they keep giving, even when they're completely drained. Tamela said she kept silent for so long because she didn't want to burden anyone. She thought if she just smiled through it, no one would worry. But eventually, the weight of pretending became too much. Her video wasn't a cry for pity, it was a moment of truth. And in her vulnerability, she gave others permission to admit, "I'm not okay either." The internet's response was immediate and full of emotion. But before we get to that, it's important to sit with the moment for what it was. The woman who gave the world so much hope, finally admitting she needed some herself. And somehow that honesty made her even more powerful the next day. Her husband, David Mann, known for his humor and light-hearted presence, got on camera. But this time, there were no jokes. It's just a black t-shirt, tired eyes, and a heavy heart. "You saw Tam last night," he said softly. "Now it's my turn." His voice shook. He wasn't just speaking as her husband. He was speaking as someone who had watched her hurt in silence for too long. He shared the moments most people never see, helping her out of bed after concerts, rubbing her legs in the middle of the night to ease the pain, lifting her out of the tub when her body wouldn't cooperate. "She keeps saying she's fine," David said, "but I've seen her break." He paused, eyes filled with tears. "She's always been the strong one. Now, I gotta be that for her." He spoke about nights she clutched her Bible, whispering desperate prayers that sounded more like please. He'd sit beside her, unsure what to say. 'Cause what do you say to someone who gives the world strength but feels like she has none left for herself? She told me, "What if I can't sing anymore?" And I told her, "Baby, your voice, was never the only thing God gave you. You are the ministry. Fans didn't expect to see David like this raw, unfiltered, open. But what they saw wasn't weakness. It was love at its most real. A man standing tall for his wife when she couldn't. Comments flooded in by the thousands. This is what love looks like. Thank you for protecting her heart. Not just a husband, you're a covering, especially among Black men. The reaction was powerful. Many said they'd never seen this kind of public vulnerability, this kind of devotion. David's 6-minute video became a sermon of its own, and it didn't stop there. Gospel artists across the industry, Alanda Adams, Erica Campbell, Smokey, Norphil, and more shared heartfelt messages, prayers, and encouragement. They weren't just supporting a fellow artist, they were lifting up the woman who had lifted so many. People from all walks of life began sharing how much Tamela had impacted them. It wasn't just about her music. It was how deeply her songs had touched their hearts and carried them through life's hardest moments. Tasha Cobbs Leonard posted a heartfelt video clip, saying, "When I hit my lowest point, Tamela's voice helped me breathe again." She doesn't even know how many people she's helped hold together just by using her gift. Kirk Franklin shared an old behind-the-scenes video of them laughing backstage. His caption read, "You've been our light. Now it's our turn to surround you with love." Even celebrities who aren't known for gospel music joined in. Tyler Perry, who has known Tamela and her husband David for years, posted a simple but emotional video. "Sis," he said softly, "you were there for me before the fame and the money. Now it's our turn to be there for you. Rest, heal. We've got you." Then something amazing started to happen. Fans, church choirs, and communities came together. In unity, they didn't just post messages, they took action. Prayer circles were held across neighborhoods and cities. Online praise nights were organized in Tamela's honor. Social media lit up with hashtags like #pray for TAMELA and #covering TAMELA. Not just as trends, but as genuine movements of love and support. One powerful video showed a group of young girls outside a hospital. They were singing "Take Me to the King" in perfect harmony while holding handmade signs that said, "We love you, Tam." In another clip, a church service paused mid-sermon. The pastor led the entire congregation in a prayer for her healing. No donations asked for, no big announcements, just heartfelt prayer for someone who had poured out so much over the years. The most touching moment came unexpectedly during a family live stream. It was just supposed to be Tamela, David, and some relatives sitting around their dinner table, sharing laughs and stories like they often did. But in the middle of it, David gave a quiet nod towards someone off camera. A screen behind them flickered to life. Tamela looked puzzled at first. Then, a video started playing. On screen was a young woman in her 20s, lying in a hospital bed with medical tubes in her arms. Her voice shook as she spoke. "Miss Tamela, when I was going through chemotherapy and couldn't even stand up, your music kept me going. I didn't think I would make it, okay? But every time I played God Provides, something inside me came back to life." Next was a man in his 40s. He looked exhausted, his voice low and heavy. "I lost my wife last year," he said. "And for a while, I lost the will to keep going. But one day I heard 'Take Me to the King' on the radio. I pulled over and just cried. That song reminded me I wasn't alone." The videos kept playing one after another. A grieving mother who had buried her son. A man battling addiction. A war veteran coping with PTSD. All of them spoke about how Tamela's music had helped them survive when they felt broken. Her voice had become their lifeline when nothing else could reach them. Tamela sat quietly, barely moving. Her lips were pressed together, eyes focused on the screen. Tears streamed down her face, but she didn't say a word. Her hands shook slightly, until David gently took her hand and held it. No words were needed. Then the final video played. It was Tyler Perry again, But this time, he wasn't on a stage or in a fancy studio. He was simply sitting in a quiet room. "You were there from the start," he said gently. "Before the movies, before the fame. Back when it was just a stage and a prayer. You never wanted the spotlight. You just wanted to help people heal. And you did. You still do? Now it's your turn. Let us love on you. Take your time." When the screen went dark, the room was silent. Tamela took a deep breath and finally whispered, "I don't feel like I deserve all of this. But I receive it. Thank you." That night changed everything. She wasn't just seen as a gospel singer anymore. People now saw her for who she truly was, a woman with courage, someone who was honest enough to be vulnerable. She showed others that it's okay to admit when you're struggling, that even the strongest need support sometimes. In the days that followed, "Take Me to the King" made a surprising return to the gospel music chart 12 years after its release. Not because of a new performance,